I was a construction worker, local 79. It lasted for like 2.5 months and I quit.
Before Casanova would work on collaborations with the likes of Tory Lanez, Chris Brown, Gunna, Young Thug, A Boogie with a Hoodie, and more. Before Casanova would have a very public beef with Tekashi 6ix9ine and then proceed to squash that beef.
Nah, man, I don't got no beef, man. I'm staying beef free, man. I don't even eat pork no more, no meats, man. I'm a vegetarian, man. I don't want no beef.
Before Casanova would have over 66.6K followers on Twitter, 1.7 million followers on Instagram, and 179K subscribers on YouTube at the time of this recording. Casanova would be one of the first people to tell you that he grew up under pretty good circumstances. Despite that, as a young man, he decided that a different lifestyle would have been more enticing to him. So he chose a life of hustling on the streets, committing petty thefts that gradually over time led to bigger and bigger missteps. Eventually, he found himself committing armed robbery and was locked up for over 7 years.
I cried. And I went crazy. I was on meds, I was on mental health.
While on the inside, he had himself a pretty famous cellmate who we'll get to a bit later on in this video. And once Casanova finally found himself released, he decided that it was time to completely change his life up. Cas decided to try his hand at the rap game and created hit songs like Don't Run and Set Trippin', which are aggressive, real give no F's type of bangers. Casanova took his life story and turned it into a brand of violent, shoot-em-up hip-hop lyrics that got him noticed almost immediately. But over the years, Casanova has refused to be pigeonholed and has more recently begun to stretch his music muscles for smoother, well-balanced R&B songs like Lie to Me and Down Bad. But regardless of what kind of music he's making, Casanova always keeps it authentic. What's going on, guys? It's your girl Azalea Hart, back at it again with a brand new video. This one taking a look at rapper Casanova prior to fame, here for you on Before They Were Famous. We've covered a whole ton of other rappers recently on this channel, so if you enjoy this video, be sure to check out other recent ones on Cowboy, IDK, and Fivio Foreign. Follow us on Instagram at Before They Were Famous as well. Alright, let's get into this story.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
Casanova was born Caswell Sr. It may be Caswell or Coswell, I'm not sure, but Casanova, Caswell, it works. On October 27th, 1986 in Brooklyn, New York. Cas grew up in the neighborhood of Flatbush as the youngest of a whole crap ton of siblings. Seriously, you guys have no idea. He apparently has 10 siblings on just his mother's side and 14, yes, 14 on his father's side.
Whoa.
Can you imagine those family gatherings? Cas is of Afro-Panamanian and Haitian descent, which he recalls led to a really pleasant upbringing and growing up with a nice place to call home.
And I didn't grow up in a hard home, and my moms ain't feed me and none of that. Nah, I had a house. I probably was the only friend that had a house out of everybody I hang with. But I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to fit in, you know what I'm saying? So every time they did something, I did it, you know what I'm saying?
His mom was a hard worker who took care of her kids and bought them everything they needed, including new pairs of Jordans damn near every week.
I was good. My mom had the big crib. I was getting Jordans every week, but I still stole them. You know what I'm saying? Just to be down.
Despite being well cared for, Cas had an itch underneath the surface that he just couldn't scratch. In an effort to strike out on his own, he would get himself into trouble around the neighborhood and find himself drawn to kids who are constantly acting out. Things started off innocently enough, egging homes on Halloween, but would escalate quickly once Cas got involved with the more dangerous crimes.
When you're a robber, you really a hater. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to say it, but you a hater. Because you want what somebody got because you feel like he don't deserve it.
By the age of 11, Cas was robbing people of their sneakers and totally under the influence of the wrong crowd. Dealing with peer pressure, Cas dropped out of school in the 8th grade, and then the street life really caught up with him. Before long, Cas found himself serving multiple prison sentences.
How long was you locked up for?
Yeah. I did 7 years in a couple of months, like 6 months.
That was your one stint?
Nah, I did 7 years, and before that I did a 1 to 3, and before that I did a year, and before that, like DFY time, I did like 2 months.
His time spent in prison was a huge wake-up call for him. It was while he was locked up that the harsh realities of what his actions had led to finally dawned on him. While serving his time, Cas actually had a pretty famous cellmate though at the time he was just a regular Joe like everyone else. Cass's cellmate was none other than A$AP Rocky, still a teenager and in need of some advice from Cass, who was more than accustomed to the prison life.
Like, yeah, you like, yo, how many times you got it? Like, it's my first time, B. I'm like, this shit blowing minds. Like, I feel wild sick. Like, I wanted to eat something. I ain't, he like, yo, bro, I got you. Like, for some reason, the nigga just wanted to be my friend on some, like, cause I didn't pose as a threat.
Cass also took bettering himself while behind bars. He read a lot of books like The 48 Laws of Power and The Art of War. His personal life also began to take a bit of an upswing after his first child, a baby girl, was born during the early part of his sentence.
When I got locked up, my baby mom was pregnant, and I didn't even know how to react when I came home. Like, I didn't even know how to be a father. I'm learning now how to be a father, like when I speak to my daughter.
Speaking with Rolling Stone about his time in prison, Cass had this to say: "I've been to jail for 7.5 years. I've been in solitary confinement for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. I lost everything. I'm still fighting for my life. I'm still doing these things, and I prevailed." When Cass finally found himself out of prison, one of his sisters got him a job in construction. But after toiling away at that gig for a bit, he quickly came to the realization that manual labor just wasn't for him. Knowing he needed to keep himself busy and out of trouble, Cass turned to music to see if what once had been a hobby could lead to something more. Growing up, Cass was hugely influenced by 50 Cent, in particular how 50 carried himself. Cass was also influenced by other OGs like Jay-Z, Beanie Sigel, and DMX. He told XXL, "DMX is me. He's me." He's like, back then, everything he said was really true. He wasn't fabricating anything. That's just me. I'm just gonna be truthful in my raps. Having finally decided what he wanted to do, Cass got to work telling the story of his life through his music. While he was working in the studio with some of his buddies, he came up with the song Don't Run, then released a music video for it that really blew up. The song was doing crazy numbers in New York and was played on the radio constantly. Not long after, Cass met Memphis Bleek, who knew that he could take Cass to the next level and make him Jay-Z levels of big. Bleek helped sign Cass to a joint venture between Warehouse Music Group and Jay-Z's Rock Nation in October of 2016. Soon after that, Cass started his own entertainment company called 2X Entertainment. While Don't Run continued to be the gift that kept on giving with a remix that included legendary New York rappers like Young Ma, Dave East, Don Q, and Fabulous, but it wasn't all love with Cass and other rappers from the city of New York. In 2018, he found himself in the middle of a nasty beef with the clown prince of rap, Tekashi 6ix9ine. The two were going back and forth for a while there, but eventually met up and found some form of peace with each other. Speaking with Rolling Stone, Cass said, "When I met 6ix9ine, I was just like, that's what really made me understand that I f***ed up. That's what made me say, yo, listen, I f***ed up. I feel like I f***ed up again because he's just trying to feed his family. Everybody does everything just to feed their family, and we don't get it. We don't look at it like that. I'm going to do some that I know I'm not supposed to be doing to win, and that's what this industry is." While that isn't the most optimistic view to have of the music industry, you can't exactly say that he's wrong either. But even as popular as he is today, Cass still has some problems booking gigs, thanks in part of his complicated past. Just recently, he was banned from performing in New York at Rolling Loud. Speaking on the matter with Billboard, he had this to say: "People will always blame you for your past. I'm okay with that. I just have to fight harder. I have to do more to get recognized." Something tells me that with as hard as Cass pushes himself, he's going to end up changing everyone's opinion about him, and pretty soon. As for the rest of his story, well, I think we'll save that for another time. After all, this is before they were famous. What did you guys think about Casanova's come up? Anything in particular that you can think of that I might have left out? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Before They Were Famous to vote on what's next. Alright, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now we drop a new video each and every day, so here's a recent drop that you might enjoy. We handpicked that one for you because if you like this video, you'll probably like that. We also got playlists like over here, so click on that if you want to see a whole list of a bunch of videos we've dropped in the past. And if you're new to the Fame Gang, be sure to subscribe and turn on them post notifications, and I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!